Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of Singlehood Unlimited with Dr. Casey. I'm your host, Dr. Casey, and we will be talking about singlehood today. We have plenty of content online about romance, love, and relationships, but nothing about singlehood, especially not a positive, affirming, and celebratory take on singlehood. This show brings to you, for the first time in India, a lively discussion about the joys and tribulations of being single. In the course of my work, I have noticed that many women who are single by choice have parents who actively support their choice. Today, I'm going to speak to one such parent to ask her about her journey of being the mother of a single woman, of her journey of facing pressures from relatives, and what made her support her daughter in remaining single and child free. I'm happy to introduce you to my mother, Punam Chowkhani, who has been working with the elderly in India for the last 45 years. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Katie, for such a lovely introduction. I'm glad that you're. I'm really glad that you're giving me this opportunity of expressing my feelings on singlehood.
So, thank you very much for being on the show. My first question to you is I
Yeah,
remember when I was in my mid 20s,
yeah,
you were very keen on getting me married. But things
right,
seem to be different now.
right.
The other day, you categorically told me I should not marry. So, what changed in these last 10 years?
See, first of all, you are very much aware that I have been born and brought up in Kolkata in a family which was not so liberal but conservative. So naturally, the it was in the mindset was that every girl or boy has to be married to us after a certain age. So after you finish your graduation and you entered into your MA course in Pondicherry University, I thought it was time enough now for you to settle down in into matrimony. And so I had also told you if you have a choice of your own, and I because I know I will not be able to find someone for you of of your liking because I know you are born and brought up in Pondicherry in an ashram, Shavindo ashram atmosphere, studied there, and which is extremely liberal, spiritual. So I left it to you to find for yourself, which my family would have never given to any one of their children. That that liberty I give it to you, and even coaxed you to find someone. And we also went to the websites to find someone suitable for your uh, suitable for you, I would say. But over a period of time, as I went on reading Mother and Shirindo's works, uh, I grew spiritually within. That made me change my whole perspective of life in general. So I realized that marriage is not something which is compulsory. So there, after that, over a period of time, I stopped thinking of you as a married woman. I would say woman, a lady, and stopped putting, speaking about marriage and all that. And that's the, I would sum it up like that.
Wow, that is wonderful indeed.
Thank
What
you.
a beautiful journey over the last 10 years you have
Thank
made.
you.
But but it is often not the parents who force the children. Very often it is the relatives who put pressure on the parents so
Yeah.
that their children get married, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure you also had that kind of pressures. How did you deal with that?
Yeah. So like we are a family of full of brothers and sisters, and their children who are also like much elder to you. So they all would also put pressure on me. Have you found a boy for suitable boy for Casey? Has she found a boy for herself? And for beginning, I that pressure would be on me, and I used to tell you, like I told you, to find for yourself. And slowly, when I as I mentioned, that as and I grew inwardly more spiritual, I started dealing with them in another way, explaining to them that no, it is not done. She has a different brought up in a different background than what I have been brought up and what your people are living in. And so I have left the choice to her, full liberty to her, marry or not marry, or even marry late, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me whether she's married or not married, remain single. I am happy. So that is how I used to told them, and in the course of a period of time, they also understood. So this is how the change came.
So you told them repeatedly, not once.
Repeatedly, yeah. Every time they will, even on the phone, when they will call me, have you found a boy? My brother would suddenly ask, have you found anyone, Punam, for Ketki? Are you searching? I said, no, she will be searching herself. I mean, if she finds something she wants, fine with me. If she doesn't want, I have no issues on that.
So after that, they slowly stopped pressurizing.
Yeah. Slowly they understood my viewpoint, and
Yeah. And do you think you were firm about it?
yeah, extreme, very firm. That is how they stopped pestering me.
Yeah, that's what.
The questions stopped coming to me. Has Ketki found anyone? Has Ketki found anyone? Have you looked? So that pressure
That is very
has
good.
gone.
That is very good. That is
Yeah.
actually to your credit,
Oh no,
not
no,
to
no.
theirs, but
It's all.
also your credit that you have been able to handle that pressure so
Yeah.
gracefully, so
Yeah.
gracefully.
Thank you.
The other question that comes to mind is that, when parents grow old, they feel that their adult children need to be looked after, that somebody has to look after them, especially when they pass away. They feel that if their adult child is married or has a child, somebody will look after them. In my case, did you think about that fear, or how did you deal with that fear?
See, being in the ashram atmosphere and reading Mother and sharing those works, and growing myself spiritually from within, I have seen over the periods of my own life so many difficulties that I had to face, but I sailed through with the grace of the divine. So I started having full faith that the way they looked after me, and they would also look after you. And I also started feeling that I just became a because now when you read spiritual things, and this is in a different context, because the uh, writings of Mother and Shivindo takes ahead, goes a further away from our more Hindu spiritual traditions. So I felt that like it's the soul that's coming on the earth for its journey, he or his. And then, as Mother and Shivindu looked after me, surely the divine, I just became a medium for your birth. And I started considering you, because I also saw your inclination towards spirituality also growing more and more over the years. So I have tremendous faith that as I was being taken care of without having any harm done to me, she will be also looked after. Why should I just became a medium to give you birth. It's your soul's journey now. So on that I have no fear at all. And you know very well, I have told you this personally too.
So even if I remain unmarried for the rest of my life and live alone, you have no fear that I will be looked after by the divine by certain
Yeah.
circumstances.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Because I pray for you every day, though, to them to look after you, and have left the rest of your life in their hands.
That is a wonderful faith, and I hope more and more people
Yeah.
have faith in something or the other. Right. Now, the other common conception is that when a couple's child grows up, they assume that that person, after getting married, will have children, right? And that you will have grandchildren. Now, you know very well you're not going to have grandchildren, be it human or non human. right? So, how do you deal with that? What do you think about that?
No, I have no such desire of having a grandchild or no grandchild. I mean, it is just mundane. I mean,
It's mundane.
mundane. I'm sorry, it's mundane. I mean, I can't imagine you as a mom also. See, you're so fond of animals. I would, I think. I mean, okay. I somehow you're so career oriented also, and you have so much, so much of a thing to grow in life. I see you more uh, on the world stage as a single woman on a world stage, playing a very important role for which I feel in from within you have been come to this earth.
So then a child would be a hindrance to that, you feel?
No,
Or
no, not
it has no role to play, you feel?
I think it's a child. I mean, it doesn't matter to me whether you marry late or not married, have a child. Or I've never think on those lines at all. I never. I've no passion to be called a grandma or of the sort. Doesn't matter to me at all.
And the last question now is, if you had to give advice to parents, and that could be, parents who will not be spiritual, parents who have a different religion, parents who are atheist or agnostic or whatever,
Yeah.
very different from us.
Yeah, yeah.
What advice would you give to those parents when, if they come to, if they ask you how to deal with children who want to remain single for the rest of their life, what would you tell to these parents?
Recently only one of my nieces was wondering that one of her daughter has gone to study outside. She was telling me, Masi, that is auntie, I would like my son to stay over with me in Kolkata. I said, look here, he has come here, each we are all human beings, but this is not just body and thing to do like that. We each have a soul, and it's a soul's journey which takes birth on earth. So don't leave them, let them free fly, let them be free, let them decide their life. Don't hold them back, and you understand what I mean. So that is, I would advise, lead them free. It is their soul's journey, and have faith in the divine. They will be taken care of.
What if they are atheist or agnostic? Then
If
how should they think about their children being single?
uh, it doesn't matter, even an atheist has something divine element in them, whether they call themselves atheist or it doesn't matter, because the divine element is the soul, and which is there in each and every human being. So that I would say the same thing to them also. Leave the child alone. It's a child's journey. We are nobody to hinder in their growth. Whether because even if you I have seen sons, they say they make a difference between a son and a daughter, and they say son will look after, but I have seen sons going flying away. It is the daughter who is looking after.
That is true.
So everything has changed over a period of time, and it will be changing more over a period of time. So these things have become absolutely has no meaning in for me in my no place in my thoughts.
That is true. That is a wonderful answer indeed. That let the children fly, let them be free,
Yeah.
let them live their lives. I think
Yeah,
that is
like animals, birds, you take, they give birth, they look after their, I mean,
children.
their kitten or puppy or whatever you can call them, till they are on their own. And then they are let free. So why can't we human beings be the same? We are higher to them. You don't mean to say that they are I mean, if they can do it, why can't we do it?
Absolutely.
Why
Absolutely.
can't we do it?
I also like the thought that we are, as parents, are just means to give birth to children, but children do not belong to parents. So it is
No, they
finally
belong to themselves.
to
They belong to
themselves.
themselves and to the inner being.
Right, right. That is a wonderful thing that children and belong to themselves and to their inner being, and they should just then follow that path to
Yeah,
decide what they want to do
yeah,
in
right.
life.
Absolutely.
I leave you with that thought, and I think that was a very fruitful discussion. And I really hope this helps a lot of parents come to terms with their children's singlehood and are able to deal with different pressures, which are very real. And I hope this is helpful indeed. Thank you very
Thank,
much.
thank you, Ketki, for giving me this opportunity of speaking my heart out. And the parents should listen. I hope some parents would listen and understand what I'm trying to convey. It's each one has their own journey.
Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Wish you all the best, Ketki.
Thank you.